What it is, what it do, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the channel. So, a lot of people have been asking, how has the reliability been on my 2015 S7 since I've had it? So, mind you, I've got it back in 2020 in October. She has been tuned, I would say, a good 6 months out of almost a year that I've had the car. And I've not had any issues with her. To be honest with you, no issues whatsoever. Let me put it to you like this. These motors are bulletproof. Now, there are weak points in these motors, and I will point those out. First weak point is the PCV system. After a while, they do go bad. You start to get a little bit of oil consumption. I'm starting to get that too, so it's time for me to actually change the PCV on her. And you start to notice that when you get oil consumption more than a quart or half a quart, I would say every 3,000 miles. The second thing that is an Achilles heel on here is the turbos, and it's a two-parter to that. Now, these turbos, you can really, honestly, you get about between 50 to 60,000 miles on the stock KO3 turbos. And that's not to say that the turbos aren't good. You can probably get a lot more. I've actually seen cars that run 100,000 on the original turbos, but depending on how you mod the car, how you drive the car, if you put the right oil, things of that nature will, extend the life of the turbo. But turbos are a weak point on these cars. Is it something that could be catastrophic? Typically not. The heat exchanger will catch a lot of the shrapnel that the turbo dispels if it were to blow up. So you don't really have to worry about getting metal shavings inside the motor. So that is a good point about the S7s and the hot V setup, where the turbos are set up. It's almost unlikely that you'll get shavings inside of the motor unless, not to say that it won't happen. Keeping with the turbos being a kind of a weak spot, the biggest thing that makes these turbos a weak spot, or the catalyst to the weak spot on these turbos, are the extra oil screens that are on them. So I don't understand why Audi did that. So it's another filtration system that basically strains any particulates out of the oil before it actually goes into the turbo. I mean, that's what the oil filter is there for, but Audi decided to put another layer of protection in there to make sure that the oil stays clean. The only problem with that, if there is dirt or particulates or you use the wrong oil, it tends to clog up on the screen. And what happens with that is starve the turbos for oil. I would say, as far as the weak points, those are the only two weak points that are on this motor. Everything else is bulletproof. Now, it's been shown that these motors can literally handle 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 crank horsepower. I can't say wheel. That's saying a lot for just stock internals. Now, there are guys that are pushing north of 1,000 horsepower, but at that point, you got to go in and crack the block. You got to do pistons, rods, everything else that goes with making sure that you're not blowing your motor up. As far as tunability, gas mileage, look, the gas mileage on this car isn't the greatest in the first place. I mean, you probably get 13 miles to the gallon on a bad day, 10 miles to the gallon on a bad day when you're in it, and on a good day, you probably get 18 miles to the gallon. Now, with it tuned, yeah, that really doesn't change. Absolutely love the car too, and honestly, I would say if you are to get into an S7 or S6, anything with the 4.0 T turbo, S8, honestly tune it, because it basically changes the entire characteristic of the car. I mean, it absolutely wake it up. Honestly, the car is very reliable. You are going to spend money on gas. It is what it is. If Alta E85, any place that sells E85 or just gas and loan, if you want to sponsor me, I have no sponsors. You know, holler at them if you want to get anything done. They're my boys. Christian is Sitting Pretty. They do any kind of bespoke vehicle that you want. If you want a Corvette with a Subaru motor in it. Yeah, I did that. There's more to come, man. I'm just I'm in a bit of a lull. I've been trying to talk to the accountant to let me buy turbos, but she keep giving me the big fat no. Nah, I can't get turbos right now. So yeah, this was just me talking about how I feel about my car after being tuned for 6 months. I love it, and this car loves me, and I love you. I don't even know who you are, but I love you. Hit that thumbs up. That triggers the algorithm, pushes this out to everybody. Browse the channel, look at my old videos, because again, I didn't just start this the other day. I've done videos now going 2 years back. Look at the WRX. You know, I'm not a professional, nor will I ever pretend to be a professional. I learn as I go. I have a great community of guys out there. Yepperson RS7, Spiffy, Shorty, Christian, all those guys help me navigate everything with this car. And subscribe, man. Help your boy grow, because I want to do this full time. Help you boys grow. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free just to hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell so you know every time. Man. Yeah, turn on the notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. Until then, I'll holler at you later.